Hi, I'm Riaz, and the thing I have been most proud to have built was this wooden structure for my make or break design competition. So the challenge was to build a wooden structure which was as light as possible to hold about 18 kilograms of weight. So for this competition, we were in a 5-person group, and I was elected as team lead. And my main task was to essentially get the compression data for this material and to implement it into the FEA. So we used Fusion 360 to actually create the design, and we used Fusion 360's FEA software to input material parameters, and we were able to calculate the stress distribution for this particular structure right here. This helped us to make design decisions on the strength, the factor of safety, and actually the weight of the structure itself. So in the end, we were able to get this to about 13 grams with a factor of safety of about 1.6, and we ended up placing about 13th out of about 71 groups. This was actually my favorite module because it really made me think as an engineer, not just relying just on theory. I had to make sure the design was efficient, it was lightweight, and it was robust for the job. An example I've used AI for was this 3D printed engine model, which is a V8, and it ends up moving. This is not a static model. It has a working mechanism which moves the piston heads in a certain configuration, and it has a lever to help rotate the crankshaft, as you can see. So to educate myself, I actually use AI as a learning and troubleshooting tool. Using AI, I was able to learn about the different parts of an engine. For example, this basic V8 component engine. So I was able to learn about the crankshaft, the piston heads, and how they actually worked. So initially, I actually used AI to help me create some designs and have some design ideas on how I could possibly create this on the 3D printer back there. So I also use AI to educate myself about the different materials I can use to 3D print it. I had to consider tolerances and clearances when creating this model as well. This allowed me to save time and allowed me to save more filament when printing parts. I didn't end up wasting a lot of time testing and reprinting parts, as I was able to learn everything just before printing it. Using AI allowed me to use my engineering intuition as well as aid me in the whole iteration process when it comes to manufacturing something like this. It allows me to understand the entire mechanism, the manufacturing process, how it's printed, and I can diagnose any failures or problems with any parts as well. This is what interests me about Fyous as well, because they use digital tools and practical engineering to make the manufacturing process more flexible, faster, and less wasteful, to create new components that wouldn't necessarily be possible with even things like a 3D printer.